Welcome to our presentation on an introduction to sport exercise psychology. We are Karen Preen and Lindsay Ashfield, and we will be discussing a case study with you today. The aims of this PowerPoint presentation are to identify the psychological approaches and theories applicable to Susan and to discuss the possible intervention methods.
We are going to be doing case study A. Susan is a 40-year-old mother of two who works part-time during the day. She has not regular exercise for 10 years but is now keen to lose weight as she values her health. She finds the gym threatening and lacks confidence in her ability to perform the exercises. Also, she does not attend some classes because of not enjoying a particular instructor's sessions. This is difficult for Susan as she finds it hard to exercise alone and enjoys the social aspect of a group. Family and friends have in the past supported Susan with exercise. However, despite this, Susan feels guilty about not exercising and makes a continual excuses not to do so because she has too many things that make it impossible to fit in.
The cognitive approach in psychology is an approach to human behaviour that focuses on how we think. It assumes that our thought processes affect the way in which we behave. Human behaviour can be explained as a set of scientific processes, and our behaviour can be a response to external stimuli. Behaviour is controlled by our own thoughts and processes as opposed to genetic factors. Susan has built up a barrier regarding the gym which is further reinforced by her lack of self-confidence in performing the exercises correctly. Cognitive psychology assumes that behaviour is the result of information processing and surrounds the idea that people try to actively make sense of their environment by imposing order and meaning on the things they encounter. This has led Susan to have negative thoughts regarding the gym and exercise. A cognitive approach is based on the belief that learning comes from personal experience, focusing on a person's ability to accept behaviour and clarify problems and difficulties. Cognitive psychology maintains that how one thinks largely determines how one feels and behaves. With Susan not regularly exercising for many years and losing her self-confidence, she has built up negative thoughts towards exercise and the gym. Humanistic and humanism are terms in psychology which studies the whole person and looks at human behaviour, not only through the eyes of the observer, but also through the eyes of the individual doing the behaviour. It starts from the assumption that every person has their own unique way of perceiving and understanding the world, and the things they do make sense to them. Susan could fulfil her potential for growth if she has a basic positive view of herself in regards to others. For instance, Susan does not have a positive self-regard when it comes to a particular instructor's session. Susan could work towards reframing these thoughts and achieving a more positive outlook on the sessions. Self-efficacy is the belief in one's abilities to influence events that affects one's life and the way these events are experienced. Without self-belief, a more pessimistic thought process often takes predominance, which is what is happening in Susan's case in respect of her lack of self-confidence. Feeling secure in a belief can lead to self-determined motivation. Self-efficacy means believing in the value of motivation to influence an outcome. Having self-efficacy can be a tool to make better decisions in life, leading to individuals taking control of one's health where possible. The belief that one can control stressful events is related to emotional well-being, which leads to better performance of cognitive tasks, having healthier behaviours, and being more successful at coping. People with high efficacy beliefs may approach difficult tasks as a challenge to be mastered rather than see all of their limitations. This approach may foster intrinsic motivation, which in turn would create more potential for Susan being successful in attaining her goals. People who have a low sense of efficacy may withdraw from difficult tasks. This would form part of the barriers that Susan has created regarding the gym. This thought process also weakens the individual's commitment to their goals.
Self-determination. a macro theory of human motivation and personality that concerns people's inherent growth tendencies and inherent psychological needs. It is concerned with the motivation behind choices people make without external influences and interference based on three psychological needs: competence, relatedness, and autonomy. The need for competence means the desire to control and master the environment and outcome. We want to know the results of our actions and how things will turn out. Susan's competence has the potential to be developed through the use of goal setting. The need for relatedness deals with the desire to interact with, be connected to, and experience caring for other people. With our actions and daily activities involving other people, we can seek the feeling of belongingness. Susan has expressed that she enjoys the social aspect of group exercise, so Susan participating in group sessions would also positively impact her motivation. The need for autonomy concerns with the urge to be casual agents and to act in harmony with our interrogated self. To be autonomous does not mean to be independent. It means having a sense of free will when doing something or acting out of our own interests and values. As Susan does value her health, setting goals to achieve better health would improve Susan's autonomy. These conditions are the basis for developing and maintaining intrinsic motivation and becoming more self-determined with respect to extrinsic motivation.
Motivation is thought to be a combination of the drive within us to achieve our aims and outside factors which affect it. With this in mind, motivation has the following two factors which are broken into sections: intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation refers to behaviour that is driven by external rewards such as money, fame, grades and praise. This type of motivation arises from outside the individual as opposed to intrinsic motivation, which originates inside the individual. The reward provides satisfaction and pleasure that the task itself may not provide. An extrinsically motivated person will work on a task even when they have little interest in it, because of the anticipated satisfaction they will get from some reward. Intrinsic motivation creates a desire to perform well and succeed. An individual is intrinsically motivated to do something when they like what they are doing, when they are enjoying the activity for the sake of itself and the positive experience, and not for the potential secondary gains that may arise from doing what they enjoy. The core intrinsic motivation is recognizing that every individual has an activity, action or behaviour that they love to do and which they are motivated to partake in for this reason. Developing the factors of self-determination theory and intrinsic motivation will increase the effectiveness of Susan's goals.
Goal setting involves the development of an action plan designed to motivate and guide a person towards a goal. Goal setting is a major component of personal development. According to Locke and Latham, people perform better when they are committed to achieving certain goals. Through an understanding of the effect of goal setting on an individual's performance, people can use goal setting to benefit performance. Susan could set goals to help motivate herself. Susan values her health, and a health-related goal would be beneficial and important to Susan. She doesn't have any interest or enjoy particular sessions at the gym because of past history with certain instructors. Susan isn't as motivated as she used to be, or maybe even like to be. Susan has found it hard to get the motivation she wants to go to the gym because of her confidence and lack of motivation. Susan thinks she's letting herself down. Family and friends have supported Susan despite their attempts. Susan has not continued at the gym. Susan has a family, and being a parent and finding time to go to the gym is hard. In order for Susan to move past these barriers and be successful in her goals of consistent exercise, Susan could make use of SMART goals. SMART is another word that can be used to guide your goal setting. It is broken down so goals can be made clear and reachable. S stands for specific. what you want to achieve, the more specific your description, the bigger the chance you will get exactly that. M is for measurable, means that you identify exactly what it is you will see, hear and feel when you reach your goal. A is for achievable. This states what results can realistically be achieved given available resources. R is for responsible, specific who do it, does it relate to your overall goal. T is for time, there must be a timeline for reaching your goal. There must be a deadline. Goals motivate to use their existing knowledge to attain a goal or to acquire the knowledge needed to do so. Clear goals and objectives allow the individual to monitor their own progress and look at their results as they go and identify barriers to achieving their goals.